Just got done seeing The Dark Knight in theaters, bringing you first impressions. And obviously the first impression is this is a flippin' awesome summer movie. Not the best movie ever, like some people have been saying, but it's definitely a thrill ride with almost non-stop action. I saw it in IMAX theaters because that was the suggestion. Go see it in IMAX. So I waited a couple extra days to get the tickets because IMAX has been sold out. But by the way, IMAX sucks unless you like, looking at distorted images that are stretched beyond recognition with curved lines that are supposed to be straight and all that in there. Not to mention, if you don't get there early, plan on only seeing 2/3 of the movie because you're going to be at the end. Worst seats in the house. And I freaking still got neck cramps from that. While I'm on a rant, I'll just go ahead and knock out the bad things about the Batman movie that I didn't like. Go ahead and get that out of the way. First and foremost, Batman's voice sucked. Didn't like it in Begins, don't like it here. It's a lot worse here. Next, Nolan's fighting sequences suck. Take the shaky garbage camera work, couple that with the crappy stretched IMAX image, and you have the perfect recipe for in-theater barfing. Yummy. Yeah, it's something that also annoyed me was that Nolan said he wanted to do a lot of things that were never done before. Well, he sucked at that. The bomb in the stomach thing ripped straight from Man on Fire, where they put a bomb in somebody's ass and blew that up. The chicken sequences with Batman on the bike and the Joker with a machine gun, straight from Batman '89, the Bat plane, and the Joker with his hand cannon. A lot of the Joker's situational crises are like watered down versions of Jigsaw's games from the Saw series. And the whole choose who you want to save thing, that's been done to death. It was done in Batman Forever, Spider-Man, all those things. So yeah, fail on originality. But good job taking the best parts of other movies and splicing it together to make this masterpiece, because no one can deny that this is an overall great movie. I gotta give props for the magic trick. That was definitely original, and that was awesome. My eyeball was twitching for like 10 minutes after that. So yeah, that was original and amazing. I'll give props on that. But the ending, that's another thing that bothered me. The ending sucked. It wasn't believable at all. The scene with the boats was just straight garbage, and that wouldn't happen. No way, no how, just no chance. They killed the realism aspect for me, at the end. You want to talk about campy? That scene right there took Batman back to the campy days. Just all that realism Nolan had worked up to build just destroyed right there. And things that occurred after the final confrontation with the Joker and Batman, things that happened to Two-Face just left me scratching my head like, WTF. I mean, most of you probably weren't paying attention. I mean, it's a minor detail, but seriously, what happened was totally out of line with everything Batman's been fighting for throughout the movie. And I don't understand why he would do one thing in this situation and another in this situation when it makes perfect sense to flip those things for those situations. Try not to spoil anything, but let's just say that didn't make any sense to me at all. The fact that it happened like that was just retarded. But anyway, I got that off my chest. Now on to the good things. His performance. That was excellent for the role he was given. He was awesome as the Joker and just very entertaining all the way through. I'll tell you what he wasn't though. Chilling. And firstly, I don't believe it was an Oscar-worthy role. Not performance, just role. No, don't behead me or break out the pitchforks or the torches or go get the rope or something. Just break it down. First, a chilling performance. Okay. If you're a grown-ass man and scared of a guy with bad makeup that's a typical action movie character, you need to grow a set. I mean, the Joker is basically Creasy from Man on Fire with face paint. Creasy was a badass, not chilling. Bombing somebody's body, that's Creasy. Shooting people in the face, that's Creasy. Rocket launch to the car, that's Creasy. Blowing buildings up, that's Creasy. One-liners and taunting people before death, that's Creasy. Only difference between Creasy and the Joker is some of the Joker's victims were innocent. And if killing innocents is a criteria for chilling, then nearly every villain in Hollywood cinema would be chilling. And that's just not the case. No, is it? Joker was a total badass. Witty and entertaining. That's it. Not scary. Quit being a bunch of pansies. Well, okay. That might be a little unfair. I suppose what could make him chilling is the same thing that made the movie seem a little deeper than it actually was. You know, two monologues given by the Joker. The interrogation scene and another with Harvey Dent. And those were actually some of my favorite parts of the movie. Because it was like this iconic figure delivering philosophical views and social commentary that I've personally mulled over, you know, with and debated with my collegiate colleagues, and they brought those views to the public. I can understand if the general public may find these free thoughts a little scary. Like I said, I've been exposed to them. I didn't personally find them scary, but I can understand how you would find them scary if you've never been exposed to that kind of thing before. So yeah, I guess he's scary in that manner to the general public. So I can give him that. But now, as far as the Oscar-worthy performance goes, I'm no expert on cinema, and I'll freely admit that. I'll be the first to admit it. But this is how I see it. You know, don't get me wrong, Heath's performance is amazing. He totally transformed into the character and all that. But it's a one-dimensional character. No character development. Just he plays the twisted, humorous psycho throughout the entire thing. To me, the best performance one can give is to show believable transformation within the character. You know, that's why I feel villains are limited in their ability to, you know, grab awards like Oscars or whatever. They tend to be one-dimensional characters, and that's the limitation of playing the Joker. He's one-dimensional. No backstory, no character development, no character progression. He's just kind of there. He's there in all of his awesomeness because he's quite the entertaining character. Probably one of the most in all of cinema history. But he's still just there and flat. You know, he's not going anywhere. He's not changing. He's just the Joker. So that brings me back to my, actually takes me to my favorite character of the movie, and that's Two-Face. And if anyone deserves an Oscar from that movie, it's this guy. It's Aaron Eckhart, I think. Aaron Eckhart, yeah. He had that believable transformation. You know, went from the white knight, the public savior, with all that confident and self-righteous swagger, to this villainous and menacing vigilante. And that was a believable transformation. You know, he had lots of subtle shifts in his performance. You know, his body movement became slower and more deliberately threatening after he became Two-Face. His voice even changed. I mean, he went from that soothing, confident, booming voice of a leader to the raspy voice of a cold, disfigured, bittered killer. You know, he just nailed a good turnaround and played that fallen angel part really well. And actually, you know, he just totally nailed the Two-Face character. And that character was actually more frightening to me than the Joker. And that's probably because I like to have control over my own fate, you know. The Joker at least gave you some measure of that in his games. Two-Face left everything to chance. That flip of the coin, you had no way of affecting the outcome at all. So I guess that idea just seems scarier to me than, you know, the Joker's random chaos. But okay, enough about Eckhart's performance and, you know, how amazing it was. Let's talk more about Heath and how amazing his performance was. I mean, he just did a really good job of portraying the Joker. I mean, now, the race between who did a more faithful rendition of the Joker has been tightened for sure. Heath's Joker was definitely better than the previews let on, for sure. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But he hasn't completely annihilated and just crapped all over Jack's rendition like people have been, you know, saying. I'm actually really on the fence about who did the more accurate portrayal. I mean, I think it's a safe bet to say Heath's is a little crazier, maybe even a lot crazier. But Jack's has more things that would enable people to identify him as the Joker. So I'm still just kind of haven't really been able to decide one way or another which way is the more accurate portrayal. So I guess I'll just wait until the DVD hits shelves to do a more objective comparison. That way I can review the footage and all that. And it'll include things like comic comparisons, third-party opinions, and things like that to keep it objective and down the middle as possible. But until then, you know, enjoy the movie in theaters, as it's quite a show. Even if you don't like Batman things, you'll probably still enjoy this. So be sure to see it, you know, at least once. It'll be good for you. Peace for now.